And it's time for Clubhouse Chatter. Here's Norm Ordez.
All right. So welcome back to Clubhouse Chatter, and our final guest of the day is Mr. Charlie Hayes. So Charlie played baseball for the Giants, Phillies, Yankees, Rockies, Pirates, Brewers, and Astros from '88 to 2001, and he was a member of the 1996 New York Yankees World Series championship team. Charlie, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
So first off, I've got to ask you about Game 6 in the 96 World Series. So I grew up in Idaho, and I grew up a Braves fan. Man, you stuck it to us when you caught that pop-up in foul territory from Mark Lemke to end the game to give the Yankees their first World Series championship in 1978. What do you remember about that?
It was just an exciting time, man. The fans there in New York, which is probably the greatest fans in baseball, they had that place rocking. It was a tough series. The Braves were a very good team. And, I was just excited because I was a part of it, thinking, actually looking back from, where it all started at, and to actually be in that moment was unbelievable.
So you started that season. You started that season in Pittsburgh, correct?
Yes, great place, great fans. I really enjoyed there. We wasn't very good, but the guys came in, they worked hard, and they were professional about it. So, we got out-talented most of the time. But, everybody approached it and did the best they could. So it was great. I was, like you said, started out in Pittsburgh, ended up in New York, went from like a last-place team to a first-place team. I think I had already started making plans about what I was going to do in the offseason. Next thing you know, you're in New York. So, like I said, it was crazy.
And so you also played with the Yankees in '97. And
I was there in '97. We lost to Cleveland in the playoffs.
Okay.
It was tough situation there. We had a bunch of good players. We just come up short. People don't realize how hard it is to win. Everything's got to go right. I don't buy into that. Oh, the clubhouse this, the clubhouse that. No, it's about staying healthy. Everybody's doing what they got on the back of their baseball cards. And when all those things come together, then you win.
And so you were drafted in the fourth round by the Giants. And
yes,
what was, take us through that process, and what was that process like?
I think I was fishing or somewhere playing basketball. I forgot all about the draft. It wasn't something that we thought that was realistic. I thought that was realistic. There have been some scouts around, scouting my high school games and stuff like that. And there are a couple of guys from our area who had got drafted, but I was thinking, I was going to college. And I think I found out later that evening that I had got drafted. I wasn't sitting around waiting on the phone. We just didn't do that back then.
Right.
Chances of getting the opportunity to play coming from where I was coming, it just didn't happen.
So you're out of Mississippi. So in 1977, you played for the South Region Champions, the Hub City from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, in the 1977 Little League World Series. What memories do you have from that?
That was some great times during my life as a kid playing youth baseball. I remember playing down in St. Petersburg, Florida, for the rights to represent the South in the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I think Dwight Good was on that team.
Wow.
That we beat. The score was 1-0. I don't think started him, that they brought him in. I think I pitched the entire game. I think I gave up one hit. It was on high-level baseball at an early age. Thankful for a guy named Cliff Marshall. He took me under his wings, provided all the necessary stuff that I needed to actually go out and be a baseball player. To this day, if it wasn't for that guy, I don't think I'll ever be where I'm at today, because, he provided a platform for me and took my hand and guided me to do the right things on and off the field, and here we are today.
So now the Yankees, they just had a reunion. Did you take part in that reunion?
I was over there. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff goes on. The Yankees are a very first-class organization. They take care of their own. They've got guys doing stuff here and there. Last week, I was in for Bleacher Creatures, where they do the roll call. That's what that was one thing I was doing. I ran into Mickey Rivers. He was there doing baseball clinics at the stadium. So, the Yankees do a lot of stuff. They use all the players, like I said, first-class organization.
And so I know I had Fritz Peterson on here a couple weeks ago. I know Fritz took part of that as well. And he shot a video of you guys. Maybe it was you that shot the video back there with the Bleacher Creatures doing the roll call. It was one of you guys, I remember. I've never been to Yankee Stadium. It's definitely on my list. And, I think growing up as a kid, and I don't know, from being in Mississippi if it's the same thing, but, growing up in Idaho, I mean, you either play for the Yankees or you play for the Reds or, the Cubs. But the Yankees were, when I was a kid, the Yankees is who you wanted to play for, and that's, that organization. So if you had to choose a highlight of your career, was it that Game 6 of the World Series? You still there?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the greatest moments in my career, but I don't know. There's a lot of things. I mean, getting to play in the major leagues was a highlight of my career. Getting to play with the likes of Dale Murphy, Don Mattingly, Barry Bonds, walking in the clubhouse and seeing those names on faceplates. Those were highlights in my career. I mean, as far as the game, I approached the game every day like it was my last. I gave 100%. And when the game was over with, I was comfortable in my own skin. So, like I said, every day was a dream come true for me, and it was a highlight for me. We just played a game, and, I enjoyed it. I missed the guys, but, my whole career was a highlight to me. Like I said, I was blessed, man, to actually have opportunity to play in the Major League, and then play for the New York Yankees, and then on top of that, actually win a World Series. So, man, it was crazy, man. Like I said, I pinch myself today, and, you always reflect back on that stuff. And I think about that every day, man. And, like I said, I'm blessed. I've got a kid now that's actually playing ball. So, getting to watch him, it's my second boy. Tyree was the first one. He played with the Rays. It didn't work out for him. And then now my baby boy, Ke-Bryan, is playing. So, man, we've been blessed. Like I said, baseball has been a part of my life as far as I can remember. It has did a lot of wonderful things for me and my family. And, actually out of the game, having a kid that's living his dream, man, it's like deja vu.
So let's chat a little bit about Ke-Bryan. So, I follow you on Facebook, and so, there's always updates on Ke-Bryan. So he's with the Pirates, correct? And he's playing in the Gulf Coast League, is it?
Yeah, he's playing in the Gulf Coast League. He's having the time of his life. Good kid, works hard. I'm excited. I'm just excited to see what the future holds for this kid. You know, he's unique, and he understands what it takes to be a major leaguer. So I'm just hoping that down the road he can stay healthy, stay on the right path, and continue to live out his dream.
So you played in the major leagues for 14 seasons, and what?
Yes, sir.
What would be the key piece of I don't know, what would you say to Ke-Bryan? You know, coming up, you know, being his first year in minor league ball, what's the biggest piece of advice that you can give him?
Work ethic. That's what it is. It's work ethic. It's not the games. It's the work ethic. It's what you do in the trenches when no one's cheering your name. That's what it's about. The playing the major leagues, and that's what I told him. And you know, on the other end, I keep it simple. On the other end, if you try to be somebody you ain't, you'll wind up being nothing. You know, and those are the two things that I stress to him. Have fun. You know, love what you do. There's no excuses. That type of stuff.
So do you give him pointers on hitting and fielding and stuff like that? I'm sure you do as a dad, or do you let the organization deal with that?
Well, he signed the papers to play for that organization, so they're going to tell him what he needs to know. As a father, all I can do is support him. You know, as a parent, we all want the best for our kids, but we also got to remember that they're kids, and we put a lot on their plate. But what we don't do is let them see if they can do it or don't do it. We try to shortcut failure. Failure is a part of life. I don't call failing not being able to hit a ball. I call failing when you give up. That's what I call failing.
Right.
And we don't have that in our house, so I'm not worried about that when it comes to him. He's a very unique individual. He loves what he's doing, and he works hard at it, harder than most. And I'm proud to say that I'm his dad, or he's my son, however you want to put it, because he exemplifies what it is, and he understands what it takes to do what he's doing. A lot of people wish they could play professional baseball, and it was one of his wishes, and it was one of his dreams. And now that it's upon him, the only thing I stress to him is his work ethic. Work hard, be honest with yourself, and, you know, try to be better than you were yesterday. And he's done real well with it. He's a very smart kid. I'm proud of his mom. She's done a great job with all my boys. You know, it takes a family, and that's exactly what we are. And we all support him. We've all had our chances, so we've got to let him live out his dreams. We make suggestions, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to him. What he believes, what he don't believe, and that's what I tell him. You know, no matter what I believe, if you don't believe it, then it ain't gonna work. So, good kid, proud of him. You know, cage rat, and you don't see that in that day and age. So,
right.
I'm proud of him.
So you've played with a lot of great ball players over the years. Is there one or two ball players that you played with or against that really stand out? I know you played with Bonds. I know Dale Murphy, is growing up as a kid, was my all-time favorite player, and a good man as well. Do you have a favorite?
favorite player growing up was Al Ke-Bryan, because that's all we got to see. You only saw one game of the week. Then they started Monday Night Baseball game. So Al Ke-Bryan, but what we do is, as kids, we see something, and it's something that we like, and the guy that's good at it, or the way he goes about doing it, they become our heroes, whatever people want to call them. But, the best player I ever played with was Barry Bonds, hands down.
Right.
But I played with the Don Manley. I watched his approach, how he approached his job every day. You can learn a lot. I try to stress the parents all the time. I've got a select baseball organization in Tomball, Texas, and we accept all type of kids. We do play high-end baseball, which is called travel ball, which is supposedly supposed to be the kids that's going to get drafted or play D1. But we take all the kids. Any kid that walks through this door that has work ethic, that's trying to be better than they were yesterday, we try to help them. And, I tell them all the time, hard work and be talent that doesn't work every day. And just because you're not the best kid at 12 doesn't mean you can't be the best one at 17. So,
right.
Everybody out here gets a chance, man. And like I say, baseball been good to me. I hope when I leave this game, when I leave this earth, I made it better than it was when I came into it. I've got a platform out here, what I do with these kids, and I try to put them on it so they can showcase their ability and make their life better, just like a guy did for me.
Once again, I got Mr. Charlie Hayes, 1996 World Series champion. Charlie, hey, it was a pleasure having you on the show. We'd love to have you back on some other time down the road. And once again, thank you for coming on.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. And, like I say, man, I love baseball. Baseball's brought everything to me and my family that I could possibly imagine. It has helped other people. I'm still trying to provide a platform for our youth kids, to explore and try to reach their goals and their dreams. And, hey, look us up, on the internet, BigLeagueBaseballAcademy.com. We're trying to help kids, and we need other people's help. But like I said, thanks for having me, buddy.
Hey, thanks for doing what you do, and we'll catch up with you a little bit later. All right. Once again, Mr. Charlie Hayes. So, two words. So, old-fashioned, right there. Old-fashioned, just foot to the grindstone, hard work, develop that work ethic. Hey, the guy played for 14 years in the big leagues. Okay, he didn't have what would be considered a stellar career, but he had a solid career. And so I'm going to read you some numbers. So he ended his career with a .262 batting average. That's pretty good. He hit 144 career home runs, topped out 25 in 93 with Colorado Rockies. He led the league in doubles with 45. So definitely a hardworking guy. And I'll tell you what, Ke-Bryan is the real deal. And so I don't know how far he'll go, but definitely keep an eye on Ke-Bryan Hayes, first round pick for the Pirates, and number 32 overall. And so keep an eye on him. So once again, we are sponsored by baseballism.com. Check them out, baseballism.com. A bunch of great guys up there in Portland. They've also got an outlet in Cooperstown, and they have opened up one in Atlanta, Georgia. So check them out. Tell them Norm sent you. Also, BaseByPros.com. Mitch Canham and Brent Lillibridge up there in Washington. And who is next? BaseballDudes.com, also up in Washington. To be the best, you must train like the best. Check them out as well. And Mark Canham, MDM Designs. He does our shirts and stuff for 9 Know-It-All. Check him out. Every week we stream live on YamhillToday.com. Check us out there as well. And hey, you have a chance to sponsor us, let me know. normbo18@gmail.com. Let's work out something to where we could put your name up there. We're on Twitter, Clubhouse Chatter, 1T. Also find us Clubhouse Chatter on Facebook, YouTube, and you can shoot me an email at clubhousechatter18@gmail.com. I'm Norm. That's producer Brian. Dude, we love baseball. That's why I'm here. And hopefully we'll see you next week with a couple more shows. Everybody have a good week. Thank you.